Hi everyone, I'm Stefan, this is Tonewood. Today I have a little bit of a project. Well, it's something else than I usually do, but I was requested to build a gun rack for someone. It will be used to hold antique rifles, and well, I thought that's interesting, so I've gone ahead and made it. I used French oak, or I think it's also known as white oak. It comes from France anyway, so it's local and I like that. I made it into a panel and squared up one edge to start, and then I started off making the holes, which will become the slot for the guns to rest in. The Forstner bit I use is a Swiss-made, very sharp Forstner bit. I only have one of them in one size, so the holes were just a little bit too small. I had to come back with a router, but I really enjoy using this bit just because it's so sharp. I only have one because they're more than 100 euros a piece. But yeah, if you enjoy using your tools, I think it's great. I also enjoy using this Festool router. It's pretty amazing to work with. However, I'm using quite cheap bits. Well, I used a rabbiting bit to make the hole just a little bit bigger. Now I'm using a flush trim bit to cut away the rabbit. And then I have the holes at about 50 millimeters or 2 inches and a bunch of sawdust. I don't recommend using your table saw like this, but since I have nothing else, I had to improvise a little bit. Here you can see I'm setting my fence to the width of the holes so I can cut out the slots. And since I have 2 pieces, that's quite quickly done. It always looks like I'm careless when I'm speeding up the footage. However, I did take my time to do it in a safe way. I chiseled up all the inconsistencies so it looks nice. And afterwards it was time to square up these little pins. You can see it's really taking shape now. And after doing one, I marked the pieces, or I marked the other piece. Yeah, and I did it as well. There were a lot of edges to sand, so it took a little bit longer than I'm showing in the video. After drilling this little hole for the stretcher to mount later on, I gone ahead and start finishing the piece. I'm using water-based finish to preserve the nice light color of the oak, and I applied it just with a regular brush. I really took my time to make sure all of the edges are finished, because I'm hoping this rack will last a long time. I think the French oak is great wood to work with because of the nice light color. And yeah, here you can see it in the light. I used 400 grit sandpaper to just soften the grain that was raised because of the water-based finish, and then started assembling the piece. At this point I was using bolts and threaded inserts. However, later on I noticed that these weren't stable enough, so I replaced them with strong wood screws. Take a little tour, and this is the finished piece. I'm really happy with how it came out. I think the solid wood is a great improvement over, for example, plywood, which would make the piece less furniture-like, if that's a word. I love the end grain you can see on the pins. yeah, I think it's a great piece and I hope it will last a long time. Well, I enjoyed building this rifle rack. It was interesting, and well, although it wasn't like a big and fancy piece of furniture, I think it turned out really good, because this way you had quite a simple project and something you would usually just use as a tool, but still you had this finish of a nice piece of furniture on it, just because instead of using plywood, it was actually made out of real oak panels. Yeah, it was definitely a good decision to build it that way. If you made it to the end of the video, I want to say I really appreciate it, because as you can see, we don't have much viewers, and well, even if it's only a couple, I'm hoping to improve the videos over time, possibly my English as well. So yeah, thanks, and I hope to see you next time. Bye. Okay, so I'm gonna try and do this again before my camera runs out of battery.